Speaking of begging, there are those that think the New York Jets might need to beg and better not be too proud to beg Trevor Lawrence to don the green and the white. Obviously, the Jets winless this season. They need to stay winless so they get that top pick. It would be Jets-like, though, to win the 2 of their last 3 games, wouldn't it? And then Jacksonville gets the top pick.
Well,
But
not
anyway,
after they blew that game against the Raiders. That was the one.
Thank God they blew it, right?
No, I know, but I'm saying, but after that, I doubt
Right.
it. You know what I mean? Because that to me,
that's
was
a
the game.
morale killer, right?
Yeah, if you don't win that game, what game are you winning?
Right. No, I hear you. But anyway, former Jets GM Mike Tannenbaum, who I thought, was actually pretty solid. He had 4 winning seasons in his 7 years with the Jets, only 2 losing seasons. And he was okay. But anyway, he's now obviously an ESPN analyst. And Rob, it was a little interesting what he said about the Jets and about Trevor Lawrence really having the leverage over the Jets in maybe not wanting to play from him. He says he has truly unusual leverage. He said he could easily hold an auction between Adidas, Under Armour, and Nike. Just say, I'm not playing this year. Whichever one of you shoe companies, clothing, apparel companies want to sign me, I'm going to the highest bidder. You can pay me to sit out this year. And then, enter the draft a year from now. This is what Tannenbaum said. He said, hey, he could come out and say, hey, I'm only playing in one of these 4 cities, or don't draft me because I'm not going. His leverage is he will be financially set by his off the field money. You didn't like this, Rob?
No, I thought it was a guy who's bitter at the organization that he's not there to even put that out there, because what he didn't mention is next year could be the Jacksonville Jaguars, or, right. It's still going to be some bad team or some bad franchise, Chris, because those are the teams that get the first overall pick, a team that's really bad. So if it's not going to New York and the Jets, maybe it's Jacksonville, maybe it's Detroit, maybe it's, some other bad town where they haven't won in a long time. So I just
right. I mean, look, we
it
dealt
ain't
with
like
this
you're
last
going,
year, remember? Joe Burrow.
Right, you're not going to Kansas City, you're not going to Seattle, you're not going to Green Bay. So what is the difference? Oh yeah, next year will be great. Let's go to Jacksonville. Okay, that's where they'll go, to Jacksonville next year. That's going to be cool, Chris. So this whole notion and throwing out, oh, yeah, well, they could pay him, shoe companies just got $200 million to give to somebody so that they could sit on the sideline. That's unprecedented. It's never been done. Even when Eli didn't want to go to San Diego, but they flip-flopped, you know what I mean, the quarterback, so that each of them got one. It wasn't like San Diego was ass out, and didn't get anybody.
And Rob, you said it. He's a quarterback.
Right.
And I'm not saying they obviously get endorsements, but are people flocking to buy a quarterback sneakers?
Now you sign
with the
Chris,
you wear the apparel
because
too,
you know why?
But still,
right. But because it's just the same reason why NBA players have an advantage. They wear those sneakers to work.
Right.
People see them. Like you can't sell baseball cleats. You could be the best baseball player, Chris. Everybody doesn't wear cleats. Everybody doesn't wear football cleats. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's a difference.
Absolutely.
And I just those comments really rub me. Like, I get it. He got fired from there. Probably he hates the ownership and whatnot. That to me sounded very spiteful. That like he concocted this idea, because if he would have said, well, threw in the idea that all he's doing is prolonging, Chris, going to another bad franchise next year. That's all it is.
Right.
And you don't know what next year is, right? I'm just saying, if Jacksonville, is that cool? Detroit has 1 playoff win since 1957. Is that where you want to go? I don't know.
No, that's a great point. Again, like I said, we were hearing this same stuff a year ago with the Bengals and Joe Burrow.
Right, telling Joe Burrow not to go there.
Yep.
Chris, And he went there, played fine until he got hurt. But he went. I don't know.
I'll say this, and I don't know. We don't know. Lawrence hasn't talked about it. We don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah. It's all speculation.
Right.
That's all right.
But I would say, Rob, if I'm the Jets, I'm getting out in front of this thing. I'm not begging Trevor Lawrence.
Totally.
Chris, I'm not kowtowing to him. But I am making some moves that make us look like a better organization. I mean, obviously they need a new head coach. Adam Gase has just not gotten the job done. Sam Darnold looks destroyed. I don't think, I know you don't feel this way either. I'm not sure he can't be a franchise quarterback somewhere.
I hear a lot of scouts and football
Jets.
people, they like him. They say he's a player.
He just needs to go elsewhere.
And we saw it, Chris, with Jared Goff when Fisher was the coach, right, of the Rams.
Yep.
Remember that? He looked like a bust, like he couldn't play. And in a matter of changing coaches,
Tannehill,
right,
who was also with Adam Gase,
he was terrible. They down in Miami, they didn't want him. This guy's been unbelievable since he left there. So you got to be very careful not to say somebody can't play until you see them, in the right situation or circumstance.
What I would do, Rob, right at the end of the season, I'm firing Adam Gase. Now, I'll do my due diligence and really do a legit coaching search. But just from what I see out there in the NFL, I'm hiring Eric Bieniemy. And I know his name is probably going to be mentioned with all these openings. And Houston with Deshaun Watson, that's obviously enticing. That makes a lot of sense for them to get Bieniemy. But if I'm the Jets, I'll outbid Houston. Yeah, you would have Deshaun Watson, but you also here could have Trevor Lawrence. I mean, come on. So I think you go out, you get, say, Eric Bieniemy. Joe Douglas didn't hire Gase, I don't believe, right? Rob G, check that out. Gase, if I remember correctly, was hired before Joe Douglas. And so Douglas, maybe he stays. He was all right. He was in that Philadelphia organization when they won the Super Bowl. So, he may be okay. But my point is, Rob, the New York, there's no problem with the city of New York, as we know. I mean, that's not the issue. If you go and you have success in New York, there's no better place to be.
No doubt about it. We all know it. And
I don't think that's a deterrent for him.
We saw Eli
Gase was hired first. So Joe Douglas did not hire Adam Gase. So I could keep Douglas and get me an Eric Bieniemy or some big time coach. Because here's the thing, Bieniemy, I would think, would use Trevor Lawrence similarly, or try to recreate what they have in Kansas City, right?
Well, they would need weapons as well. Mahomes. But I know what you mean. Yeah.
But Lawrence is athletic. He might even be faster than Mahomes. And so, he got the athleticism, obviously throws it well. And so that would be what I'm trying to do if I'm the New York Jets. Make yourself look good. Don't even contact Lawrence. You're not giving him the keys to the franchise.
Right.
But just make the right moves that make you look like, okay, they can get it done, and then you won't have this problem. I don't think.
And then all you got to do is then you make a trade for Darnold. Somebody would gladly take him, Chris, gladly, and get a player or a pick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then you utilize that to help, reshape the team.
Absolutely.
I think it's right there. The Jets, it's not that hard to turn the thing around. It really isn't.
Not in the NFL.
Right people,
a lot of it's
and
coaching,
you need the right
too.
coach, right? You need the right coach.
A lot of it, no league, Rob, is coaching more important than in the NFL.
No, definitely. Because it's what your scheme is and how you use your players. It's much more than any other sport. No
Absolutely. Doubt. Absolutely. What do you think? Should Trevor Lawrence spurn the Jets? And what should the Jets do to make themselves look more attractive?
All right, let's kick it off with Larry in Florida. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Larry?
Hey, guys. First of all, happy holidays. I listen to you guys constantly. Rob, I have a few spots under my tree. I need a coat and a size 11 sneakers.
Okay,
listen,
I got you.
Happy holidays, man.
I'm a huge Jet fan, okay? The kid.
Are you in New York?
No, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida.
Okay.
But Chris, take a picture because I want to see you shoveling. But listen,
Yes.
You don't believe me.
Trevor would have to be crazy not to go there. Can you imagine? Just even if he has, forget the Super Bowl, but even if he has success in like winning the division and taking us to the playoffs year after year, he would own New York. He's an organization changer. The coaches are going to come out of the woodwork that want to coach him. And Chris, I agree with you. I like the enemy, but I don't think they're going to go down that path. I think they're going to go get Daboll from Buffalo because Daboll used to be in our organization. And as far as
do you want somebody tied to the organization already? I mean, I hear you because Buffalo's doing well.
Right.
Daboll might be great, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
right, somebody from that staff they'll get jobs because whenever you do well, so we'll see. Let's
Chris,
go.
I understand what you're saying, but he's done a phenomenal job with Josh Allen. I mean, you got to give it to him for that.
I got you, Larry. Thanks,
right.
Larry.
All right.
Appreciate
That's not bad. I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be being to me. I mean, I'm saying you do your search.
You do your
but he
due
looks
diligence.
great to me right now. And like I said, Rob, throwing quarterback, you know what I mean? Who wouldn't want to be in that system that Mahomes has? Like you said, you need weapons, but.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, James, in the baseball capital of the United States, St. Louis. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. I'm always representing St. Louis.
It's Gage, man. It's Gage in St. Louis. How you boys doing, man? Happy holidays to y'all.
What's up?
And Gage, be honest. You probably got no love for baseball.
He's from St. Louis.
No,
Yes, he does.
Come on, man. What? Don't be disrespectful, Chris. All right,
did you ever play baseball? Did you ever play baseball?
Of course, all 4 years of high school, man.
Okay.
All 4 years of high school. I just wasn't that good, but for sure, man. For sure, I played baseball. But Alex T, what's going on? Bobby G, what's going on?
What's poppin'?
I think that he should just go ahead and go to the Jets because, like Rob said, man, next year is not going to be any better. And let's just be honest, next year, and let's stop talking about poaching my Chiefs. You know, keep the enemy where he is. We need at least 3 or 4 from him. You know, and then he can go ahead and I think Robert Salas, man, honestly, would be a great fit for Trevor Lawrence. He needs that defense right.
They talking about him in Detroit.
Yeah, his name has been mentioned.
Yeah, his name is on. But look, you losing Bieniemy. Don't you think, Rob?
Yeah, no.
He's losing Bieniemy somewhere.
Because he deserves a chance to be a head coach. And he can't stick around there. You can't because your window can come and close, Chris.
Right.
If he waits too long. So you got to jump on it when you're hot. So
he's a friend of the show, former NFL head coach with the Jets and the Browns, Fox Sports 1 contributor, our man Eric Mangini. What's up, E?
What's up?
Hey, how you guys doing? I was listening. I heard Rob classify himself as a blue-collar guy.
Yeah.
I almost fell out of my seat. World traveler. I got in his Porsche a few times. That convertible Porsche he drives around in. Blue collar. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you mean a blue collar guy doesn't go to Antarctica on vacation? No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Been to all 7 continents.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, Eric. We were just talking a few moments ago about Trevor Lawrence and this notion. We heard it last year with Joe Burrow. He shouldn't go to the Bengals. Some people are saying now Lawrence shouldn't go to the Jets. Are the Jets getting a bad rap? I mean, people are talking about them like they just can't win because it's a bad franchise.
No, that's not true at all. The Jets have won, and if anything, it's a really good situation. They've got extra draft picks in the first round, the third round, the 7th round. They've got cap money. They're in a division where the giant is no longer the giant. There's no more Tom Brady in that division. You've got an opportunity to go in and change things dramatically and quickly. And if you're Trevor Lawrence and you feel like you're a franchise quarterback, and I think I've said this to you guys before, then there's a reason that you're going there. And franchise quarterbacks change franchises by the way that they play. So this idea that the Jets are an inherently bad franchise, that's not true. I think it's a potentially a great situation for someone to go into.
And it wasn't that long ago. Let's just be honest. I mean, it wasn't 40 years ago that Rex Ryan, he took them to the AFC Championship game twice, didn't he? He beat New England. They lost to, who did they lose to? Indianapolis, right? And to the Patriots, I think. No, who did they lose to? Indianapolis? They had it twice.
Rob, but they got to they went 2 in a row.
Right.
There had been a lot of winning going on, Rob. I got fired at 9-7, so I think that record looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, hey, you know what? Hey, you sound like Jim Caldwell in Detroit. You know what I mean? They fired guys 9-7, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, that wasn't good enough.
No.
Eric, is the bet? There's a report today that I think executives said they think the L.A. Chargers job is the best one that'll be available. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, look, I hate talking about jobs that still have coaches in place. So in a hypothetical world, if that ends up being the case, the upside there is it looks like you have a real live quarterback. And I can tell you, playing in a situation where you don't have that guy, everything's got to be perfect. And when you do have a player who it looks like he could potentially be, now you get a chance to compete year in and year out. And they've got talent in other areas as well, and they've been close in a lot of games. So yeah, there's a bunch of attractive elements there.
Eric, Chris and I had a debate on who is the MVP of the NFL this season. Chris picked Patrick Mahomes. I said it's Aaron Rodgers. If you had to pick from those two, who would you pick and why?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I was actually talking about that with my youngest son, Zach, who's 12, and he picked Patrick Mahomes, and his rationale was his bad games aren't nearly as bad as Aaron Rodgers. And I think when you can throw 3 interceptions and still score 30 points, that's pretty impressive. Now, that being said, I think Patrick has a few more tools to work with offensively, and he's got a head coach that you could argue is one of the best that's called plays. So there's an advantage there as well. I'm a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I always have been, but I would say that I would have to give the edge to Patrick right now.
Yes,
wow, you're the first one who said that.
Great answer.
No, that was a bad
answer, Eric.
It's unbelievable. I mean, Eric, what kind of research are you doing? Aaron Rodgers didn't have Devontae Adams for 3 games, Aaron Jones for 3 games, and yet he has a higher quarterback rating than Patrick Mahomes. He has more touchdowns. He has less interceptions. What are you watching?
Fewer yards, a horrible game against
What
Tampa
are you
Bay.
watching,
I forgot
Eric?
to throw that in.
I love Rob how you quote a couple statistics that you happen to read in the newspaper because you still get it. You still get a newspaper, and you're like, oh, that sounds good. But look, you could make a case for either guy. Last year, him taking the team to 13-3 with a rookie head coach, and that to me was as impressive a job as you can see.
Eric, I thought when Odell Beckham Jr. got hurt, and I think he's their best receiver in Cleveland, but I thought that Baker Mayfield would be better without OBJ, at least this year, because I felt like he was forcing it to OBJ or looking to him too much just because of the strength of his personality. Do you think that OBJ not being there has loosened up Baker and kind of allowed him to just hit the open man, and that has anything to do with their surge? I mean, they were playing well with OBJ too, but do you think that has anything to do with their surge and with Baker's better play?
Yeah, Chris, there's a lot to be said for what you're talking about, and you don't like to think that you could lose a player of Odell's talent and be better. And I don't know Odell personally, but I've been in enough situations where there can be addition by subtraction, and really talented players can demand the ball. And I remember conversation after conversation with guys who come to the sideline and tell you they're always open, and you show them the picture and they're double teamed and they're telling you they're open, and that's a lot of pressure on a young quarterback. and to some degree on play callers to pacify that guy. And if you can take that element out of the equation and just go back and read the coverage and hit the open guy, to me, there's a liberating element to that. Again, though, when you do have a player like Odell, it does force a lot of coverage his way, which should open up other things. So you could look at it both ways, Chris.
There's some Chris Broussard's pushing the narrative that Tom Brady is a Pro Bowler this year. I think he had
the third quarterback in the NFC.
NFL season, his first year so far in Tampa Bay. What do you make of Tom? Is he a Pro Bowler in your mind?
I mean, just look at the team, the landscape. Drew Brees is hurt.
Chris, can you let Eric answer, please?
Saying.
Thank you.
I feel like any time Rob talks about Tom Brady, there should be some sort of hater alarm that goes off. Like some sort of, can the show get like a siren? So as soon as Tom Brady enters his mouth, it starts blaring hater, because you've hated on Tom Brady for as long as I've known you. I don't think have you rooted against any athlete more than you've rooted against Tom Brady in the history of your career?
The LeBron people say yes. I mean, I don't know. I don't look at it that way.
He hates greatness, clearly.
No, that ain't
clearly a hater of greatness. So that should be like a badge of honor. Every player should hope to be hated by Rob Parker because you're headed to the Hall of Fame.
You got to be pretty damn good for me to waste my time on you. That's true.
Here's what I think, Rob, is I've been frustrated with the way that it's been set up initially, and I think that when you bring in someone like Tom, his greatest strength is his knowledge, and in order for him to maximize that strength, you want to run a system that's as familiar to him as possible so that he knows what the answers to the test are when blitzes take place, when things aren't quite right in terms of formation. He understands what to do because of his experience. And it's not that Tom can't learn the system. He's been learning this system. It's just not going to be as effective as it possibly could be. So there is a learning curve with someone who's done something for 20 years to go in and do something else. Has he been perfect? No. Has the fit and the chemistry and the overall operation been perfect? No. I don't think that's been the case either. But they've won more games already than they have last year. He's thrown 20 less interceptions than they had last year. He's already got 30 touchdowns. I mean, Tom didn't throw 30 touchdowns in his first 8 years in the league. So is it perfect? No, but I think that's part, some frustration that may be because of the lack of chemistry.
Another great answer, Eric, and
Eric,
we'll end on that one.
Totally useless appearance here on The Odd Couple. I'm very disappointed in your analysis.
Know what I'm excited about, Rob, is you didn't hang the phone up on me mid.
No, I would never do that
last time.